On Linux, there's various ways to check network activity. Now, monitoring network activity is important because it can be that a reverse shell is into your computer and then they can remotely control the computer. It can be malware that connects to the internet. There can be a lot of things going on. So it's important to be able to check network activity. Now, we're going to take a look with Bash, so how we can see that using Bash scripting. And we'll look at also some Bash programming or Bash scripting. So there's two common ways on Linux to show network activity. There's the tool netstat. So if it isn't installed, you can install it with this command. In this case, it is already installed. And this command netstat is one of the ways to show connections. So with this argument, ANTOP, you can see the full table of connections. So you'll see a table like this. And in this case, we have foreign address. That's where it connects to. So when you see 000, that's just an internal address, as well as these empty columns. But the ones you see with numbers, they're actually internet addresses, or in this case, network addresses. So these are actually real connections. And every connection goes through a certain communication line called a port. So you see it's going to different ports here, 58250 and so on. And this port, every connection has its own port. Now, as I said, netstat is one of the ways to check it. There's another tool called SS. So with SS, you can also check it. It's a modern tool for the same job. So you might say state established. Now we see the same connections, only the outgoing connections. So we have this connection and also show the same course. So the same output, just a different command depending on which you prefer. Now let's write a little script. So we type nano network monitor.sh. Then we add the first line. And we could simply add the command netstat-antop. So A stands for all, N for network, so TCP, and we want to see all the connections. So that's what those flags are for. And let's make the program executable. And now if we run it, you'll see it automatically shows you the network connections. So now we simply run a script or the script whenever we want to see the network connections. So boom, you've just monitored or created your first monitor. Now you might want to filter this output. There's a lot of information here that might not be immediately relevant. So what we can do with netstat, if we have the netstat command, you see it has a lot of output. We can combine this with a command called awk, and then we can print only the columns we want. For example, let's say we print the fourth column, or let's say the fifth column, that should be the foreign address. And make sure to have this quote here. And if everything's all right, it should output just the remote addresses. So we now filtered it and we only see the remote addresses. You'll see we only have this column. So in case you also want the state, you could then say also print the other column, so the sixth one. Okay, it's like this, and now it's showing both. But it's not the most ideal way to read it. So what you can do instead, if you want only the established ones, we can say grep established. So established meaning the current devices that are connected. You see there's currently nothing connected. There's just these two remote addresses. We could update our script and add this to only show the addresses. So if we open the script, instead of printing it like this, we could add our filter. That shows us the remote addresses it's connected to. And you might want to further filter this, perhaps only showing the unique ones, or maybe only the network addresses. So we can say we can further filter this, for example, by filtering all 192. That's the network address. If I save and clear and now run it, you'll see now it only shows the network addresses. So we wrote a little bash script where we can check the network connections. Now it's only showing the local network connections, not the internet ones, because we filtered out on 192, so that will filter on the local addresses. Now you might want to automate it, so there's a tool called cronjob in Linux. You can open it with crontab -e, and this is basically your task scheduler. So choose your favorite editor, and then in here you can schedule tasks using these codes. So you can say, for example, 5 a.m. every week would be like this, and then the command you want to run. So for example, we could say like this, so all the time, and then we simply run only Ubuntu and these scripts, and it will then start that script automatically. In this case, it doesn't save anything, and the output is running in the background, so you wouldn't actually see anything unless you output the data to the file. And you see one too many asterisk. It might be that you don't want it all the time. Maybe you want it at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. every week, depending on your preference. Now, if I press Ctrl X, now the cron job is updated, so it should now run every week or every day of the week. So you learn several things here. You learn about monitoring the network using the command line, and also a little bit about cron jobs.